Good evening. It's June 2nd, 2025, Monday. We're in Studio 6A tonight, and it's certainly my pleasure and my true honor to be speaking with a World War II combat infantry veteran, Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today?
Very good, sir. Very good. Thank you.
You're looking well in your new clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling you have new clothes on every day we interview you.
New clothes?
I have a feeling instead of you having your clothes washed, you just buy new clothes every day.
Yeah.
Because every single day you got a nice outfit on. You look very nice in it. You look very nice in it.
Yeah.
I heard you had a big party the other day with your 5 generations.
Oh, yeah. That was a hard time. Yeah.
They don't want those little kids having fun.
Yeah, yeah.
How'd you like your 5th generation, Ellie Jeckovich?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's a little cutie.
Yeah.
And how about Jake, the 4th generation?
Oh, yeah. He's a good kid. He's all over. He's all over there.
Did you ever blow that thing up? Do you have it with you?
Yeah, I have never.
Oh, I'd like to show Mr. Jeckovich.
Saw.
Yeah.
So did you see when he was holding his father's leg as he was coming in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, huh? Isn't today a gift?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, boys and girls, it's a short dance around the sun, so enjoy every day. Mr. Jeckovich just told us last week that he's blinked his eyes at 20 years old, and now he's 100, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You blinked your eye. Tell us, it went by that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Jeckovich was born in 1925, and now we're in 2025, and he's knocking on the door of 100.
Eternity, huh?
Yeah. And knocking on the door of 100. Hard to believe, huh?
Yeah.
I get like hundreds and hundreds of text messages for you every day, but the top one is, tell us about your longevity and being in perfect health at 100. Tell us how that works.
It's the genes. It's the genes.
Genes, okay.
Yeah.
But you never took a prescription or you never took a vitamin in your life. You jogged for 80 years, right?
Yeah.
You jogged for 80 years. Did you smoke?
No.
Did you drink?
No.
Yeah. So you're in pretty good shape. Mr. Jeckovich reads 3 newspapers delivered to him every morning, including the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. And he reads all 3 newspapers by 9 o'clock, and no glasses are needed. No glasses are needed. 100 years old, he reads until about 2 in the morning, gets up at about 4 or 5. I don't know where the hell you get your energy.
I don't get up at no 4 or 5.
You're up early with breakfast. Put it this way, you're up early.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. And that's why we nicknamed you the Super Soldier.
Oh, yeah?
100 years old, you're doing all these
Super
things.
soldier,
Well, think about it. You were shot in your shoulder by a sniper. You were beat up. You were stabbed.
Lost a hip.
Lost a hip. You were bombed with a dirty bomb, which you still have part of that bomb in your leg. You can't get it out. Trench foot frostbite. Don't you suffer from frostbite every night?
Every night. I got it right now. Yeah.
What happens if you go to the airport with all the bomb metals, shrapnel in your body? What would happen?
I give him a slip.
Because the alarms are going off, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I was looking at some of the papers that when you got drafted. At that time, there was says when you got drafted into World War II, you were 181 pounds. How much you weigh now?
151.
You have a lot of catching up to do.
I don't think so.
151. You were 181 when you enlisted. And well, the nice thing about it is most soldiers, after several decades, they can't fit into their uniform.
Yeah.
And yours will fit loosely.
Yeah.
Yours will fit loosely.
Yeah.
I was looking at something else when you were discharged from World War II. It's a very interesting fact. The government calls it mustering out pay. What is mustering out?
They give you a condescending payout, get charged to live a civilian life.
Yes. The mustering out pay that you received once you spent all those years in battle, once you devoted everything that you got, every injury in the world, they gave you and all the other fighting GIs called the mustering out pay. And each one of the GIs received
$300.
Yes, a grand total of $300.
Monthly.
And they gave you $100 each month for 3 months. And that's what Uncle Sam said. This is what you'll need to get yourself back into civilian life.
Yeah.
Wow. $300 mustering out pay. Hard to believe. Hard to believe. It said that you were living at the time before you were drafted at 3063 Orleans Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York. How was that?
It's a beautiful town.
Beautiful, yeah.
Not now. It's going
What's it like now?
Terrible. It's a dump now.
It's a ghetto.
Nobody lives there.
Yeah, everything's been torn down in the 70s.
Yeah.
Never rebuilt. When you were running your businesses in Niagara Falls, New York, 50s and 60s, it was a very thriving town.
Yeah.
Very thriving.
Not anymore.
And where you had your laundromats on 2nd Street and Niagara Street, there was over 200 small mom and pop businesses. Italian businesses, Polish businesses. Pizza places,
Yeah.
motorcycle repair shops,
Yeah.
laundromats. Every kind of store in the world was in that little area of 2nd Street and Niagara Street, and that's where 200 families made a living.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, the county got in. They wanted to take it out and put a convention center in.
So the great fertile minds of another politician decided they were going to bulldoze down and take yours and everyone else's living and put it in a convention center. How did that go?
They didn't go by at all. They figured it out, folded up.
Turned the whole city into a mess.
Yeah.
And put out 200 families out of business. Yeah. Remember, anytime listening thinks of the government, I say this: trust the government, ask any Indian. And everyone knows how the government screwed over the Indians.
Yeah.
They're bad news. Stay away from them. They're basically your enemy. Yeah. Another question that we get all the time, we talked about your health, which is excellent. Another question we get all the time is, how much is this book and where do I buy it?
It's not for sale.
The book has never been for sale.
Never
will be for sale. The original copy of this book is in the World War II Museum in New Orleans, Louisiana, but this book is not for sale. It's not ever been about money. Mr. Jeckovich certainly does not need money. He's got plenty of money, but this book was written for the sole purpose, and the only purpose, to give younger generations a roadmap on how to have an easier and better life. So you might not be able to buy the book, but Mr. Jeckovich already did 600 podcasts, mostly on YouTube, and it takes you from chapter 1 to the end. How many pages?
849.
We covered all 849 pages. It covers everything. And now we're second time around, we're already on chapter 6.
Yeah.
So you can listen to the book totally for free. You can listen to the book totally for free. So no money will be changing hands. We're working on AI, a full-blown AI of Mr. Jeckovich, and it'll be in the World War II Museum. He'll look exactly full size like he is now, the same mannerisms and the same voices. And then you'll be able to see him 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, and 100 years from now. But right now, if you have any questions, text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. Text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. And about the book, he'll answer any questions, even something like marriage. How many years were you married?
69.
So he'd be a great guy to answer your marriage story right there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was 90,000 divorces in Florida last year alone. What was the reason?
Money.
Money, yeah. The honeymoon stage in a marriage gets over probably very quickly, within a week or two. Then the reality sets in on how expensive it is to live today. It's very, very expensive to live. The husband's working a couple jobs, the wife's working a couple jobs, and they still can't make ends meet.
Yeah.
Basically have to rent because they can't buy a house. Minutes?
19.
And so 90,000 divorces last year alone, and basically because of
Yeah, money.
money.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich, when he had proposed to Delphine Stulak, he did so in a Roman Catholic basilica in Tonawanda, New York. She accepted his hand in marriage, and then they walked up to the altar of the basilica, knelt down and said a short prayer asking God to give them a long and happy marriage. Was that prayer answered?
Yeah, 69
Prayer
years.
was answered, I guess
Yeah.
so. 69 years, wow. That's amazing. So any questions, text Mr. Jeckovich. His mind is like a library. He's owned many businesses. He worked for Kimberly-Clark for 35 long years. And he was a frontline combat infantry. These aren't the guys in the back room typing. These are the guys in the front line fighting, killing, shooting, bombing. Like, for example, what type of weapon did you primarily use?
I use a machine gun.
Machine gun.
Water cooled.
Water cooled. It was water cooled because the barrel got so hot.
Yeah.
So if you would grab that barrel, what would happen?
Burn your hand right down to the bone.
That bad. And you were fighting in the worst winter, the coldest winter of record. How'd you keep the water that cooled the barrel from freezing?
Antifreeze.
Antifreeze. Yeah. And his buddy, Donald Lape, was another teenager that fought side by side with Mr. Jeckovich. Mr. Jeckovich was street smart. Donald Lape wasn't street smart. He kept popping his head up, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
I told him, put your head down. She said, oh, I'm not, don't put your head, you have nothing to see there.
How was he popping us? Show us.
Huh?
How was he popping his head up?
Just going like this.
He's looking to see
yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by 600,000 Nazis, 6,000 tanks.
And they're getting them zeroed in.
They zeroed him in. And
Well, we moved a lot.
Yeah, I know, but they zeroed in that time. What happened?
Well, they got him in the head.
Blew off his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, only thing left was a pair of glasses hanging on Donald Lape's ear.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich removed the glasses, closed his eyes, Donald Lape's eyes, and took one dog tag. And that was it for a teenage boy. And thousands of them were killed in the same way. Don't forget that 16,400,000 young men and women participated in World War II. Get that number. 16,400,000 young men and women participated in World War II. And these were patriotic. They didn't have any complaints about fighting for this country.
Yeah.
They had no complaints. They're very patriotic. That's why they're named the greatest generation that ever lived. I think we probably have the worst generation now. But that generation was the greatest generation ever. So right now, we have less than 6,000 of combat infantry frontline veterans like Mr. Jeckovich. And we're losing them at a rate of 150 a day. 150 a day. Most of the guys that survived are in their late 90s or early hundreds, and that's it. We don't have any more World War I, and soon we won't have any more World War II. So now's the time to never forget about this history. It's so important. If it wasn't guys like this, we would not have the freedoms we have today. We'd probably be speaking German and would be ruled by asswipes like the type of Adolf Hitler's. That's what would really happen. If it wasn't for Mr. Jeckovich and all his affiliated soldiers during World War II, and France and England will tell you this outright, if it wasn't for the American army, France would have been gone to the Nazis, England would have been gone to the Nazis. These guys made it, took over the war for them. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the United States Army, those two countries would be gone, and Hitler wasn't stopping there. He was keep on going. The last war Mr. Jeckovich was in was the bloodiest and the most violent war. It was called the Battle of the Bulge. And Mr. Jeckovich was in Bastogne, surrounded unexpectedly by several 100,000 Nazis and 6,000 Nazi tanks. The weather conditions were horrible. Weather conditions were horrible. But he was instructed at his divisions, you do not leave Bastogne. Why not?
Well, that was a central point. Once you lost that, you lost the whole thing.
You could have lost the war if you lost Bastogne. The weather was horrible. They couldn't get supplies in by air. They couldn't get tens of thousands of paratroopers. They couldn't get air support shooting to some of the Nazis. So they stayed there, and they fought. 4 days later, by the way, General Patton wrote up a prayer. It was a postcard-sized prayer, and he distributed it to 250,000 soldiers. And what did the prayer ask for? For the skies to clear. The skies did clear. But by the time the skies cleared, Mr. Jeckovich's division lost 97%. Gone, killed. 3% left, and he's one of them. But that prayer was a beautiful prayer that General Patton had written up by the minister of the clergy in World War II. And when those skies cleared up, General Patton's first word, when he see those skies opening up, he goes, this prayer really worked. He goes, God damn, it's a beautiful day to kill some Germans. And that was his words after the prayer worked. So the casualties were unbelievably high. 97% slaughtered. And when Mr. Jeckovich went into the war as a teenage boy, he was affectionately called the Diaper Division.
Well, they're 19 years old.
19 years old.
33, so they're 33s.
Yeah, 33 is a military code. Minutes, please. 33 is a military code that means teenager. Teenagers are the best fighters. But they're young and they're green.
11.
And they don't know nothing about fighting hand to hand. They don't know none of that. So they call them affectionately, not disrespectfully. They call them affectionately the Diaper Division. But when they held Bastogne, and then they had 97% casualties, these young boys were slaughtered. The white on the ground was all red everywhere you looked, slaughtered. Now they were nicknamed something else. Now the government gave them no longer the Diaper Division. Now they're called the Bloody Bastards of Bastogne. They got a higher rate. They got a higher rating. During the World War II, Mr. Jeckovich and others received great medals. Mr. Jeckovich's medals as a teenage boy were the Bronze Star Medal, the Purple Heart Medal, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the American Campaign Medal, the European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 Bronze Service Stars, World War II Victory Medal, Army of Occupation Medal with Germany clasp,
10 minutes.
the Combat Infantry Badge, Sharpshooter Badge with carbine, pistol, and machine gun bars, Marksman Badge with rifle bar, and Honorable Service lapel button for World War II. Those are a lot of medals. Where are those medals today?
Who knows?
They got lost in the shuffle?
Yeah.
They got lost in the shuffle. So, Mr. Jeckovich, his book, not for sale, it'll never be for sale, but I took some excerpts out of the book so we could teach the younger generations, his grandchildren or his great-grandchildren, a simpler way to live. And let me give you a couple of them here. These are Mr. Jeckovich's words. I really like for them to know about hand-me-down clothes and homemade ice cream and leftover meatloaf sandwiches. I really would. When you came off a furlough, the first furlough we ever had, you got to your house in New York,
Yeah.
Orleans Avenue, no one was home,
Yeah.
and you ate leftover meatloaf and orange juice. How'd that turn out?
It was good. It was good. Yeah.
I know, but what was said to you?
It said you ate the supper.
You were scolded.
My mother got scolded. Me saying you ate the supper.
And you traveled for a couple days on a bus.
Yeah.
Your mother's working, your sister's at school, and you're sitting around the house starving. There was some leftover meatloaf in the
Yeah.
refrigerator and orange juice, and your mother scolded you.
Yeah.
And did you say after that she gave you the silent treatment?
Yeah.
Was she pounding pans?
Well, she got the kitchen to start rattling dishes around. She was mad.
Jesus Christ. I hope you learn humility by being humiliated, and you learn honesty by being cheated. I hope you learn to make your own bed and mow the lawn and wash the car. Here's one of the better ones. And I really hope no one gives you a brand new car when you are 16. Did you get a brand new car at 16?
No.
It'd be very destructive to give a 16-year-old child a brand new car. They need to work, they need to earn it, and then buy something used. It would be good at least one time you could see puppies being born and your old dog put to sleep. I hope you get a black eye fighting for something you believe in. Now these are what he's telling to his younger generations, grandkids, great-grandkids. I hope you share a bedroom with your younger brother and it's all right to have a line drawn down the middle of the room, but when he wants to crawl under the covers with you because he's scared, I hope you let him. When you want to see a movie with your little brother wants to tag along, I hope you let him come. I hope you have to walk uphill to school with your friends and that you live in a town where you could do it safely. On rainy days, when you have to catch a ride, I hope
7 minutes.
I hope you don't ask your driver to drop you 2 blocks away so you won't be seen riding with someone as uncool as your mom. I hope if you want a slingshot, I hope your dad teaches you how to make one instead of buying one. I hope you learn to dig in the dirt and read books. What was your book reading experience when you were a boy?
I was a book of the month club.
And how did that go?
You got to get a copy of a book every month, and if you review it, if you want it, you take it. If you don't want it, you don't take it.
Your mother worked and you had to beat her to the mailbox. How come?
What?
Your mother worked during the daytime and you had to beat your mother to the mailbox. How come?
I took the books out of the mailbox.
Your mother didn't want those books.
Oh no, I put them underneath the bed.
Your mother was against those reading books.
It cost too much money.
And then if you couldn't read your history books and your social study books in your house, where did you go read them?
In the garage.
Yeah. Yeah. When you learn to use computers, I also hope you learn to add and subtract in your head. I hope you get teased by your friends when you have your first girlfriend, and when you talk back to your mother, that you learn that what ivory soap tastes like. May you skin your knee climbing up a mountain, burn your hand on a stove, and stick your tongue on a frozen flagpole. I don't care if you, this is very important, I don't care if you try a beer once, but I hope you don't like it. And if a friend offers you dope or a joint, I hope you realize he's not your friend. I sure hope you make time to sit on the porch with your grandma and grandpa and go fishing with your uncle. May you feel sorrow at a funeral and a joy during the holidays. I hope your mother punishes you when your baseball goes through the neighbor's window, and that she hugs you and kisses you at Christmas time when you give her a plaster mold of your hand. These things I wish for you. Tough times and disappointment, hard work and happiness. To me, it's the only way to appreciate life. Doesn't that sum it up? You gotta have tough times, right?
Yeah.
Can't make it easy for these kids. A lot of mothers are killing these kids. They're making them little sissies, don't you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
They're making them little sissies. When the mother goes, what's the kid gonna do? He doesn't understand. He's never had to work. He never had to do nothing. Worst thing you could do to your kid is spoil him rotten. Because when you're gone pushing up to ages, which you will, the kid won't have no idea how to make a living. He won't have no idea how to make a living. What's the minutes, please?
Three and a half.
So you had the best times in Niagara Falls, New York. You had beautiful people,
Yeah,
Polish and Italian immigrants,
yeah.
and they all had great pride in home ownership, huh?
Oh, yeah.
They all had great pride in home ownership. And what's Niagara Falls like now?
It's a dump. It's shut down.
How do you think it went from one of the beautiful cities in the United
The
States?
mafia got it in there.
So the mafia just sucked it dry.
Right from New York to Niagara Falls.
Now, you go a mile over the bridge in Niagara Falls, Ontario, what do you see?
A beautiful place.
Beautiful.
Immaculate, clean.
It was beautiful back in the day.
Well dressed up and everything.
Yeah, it's gorgeous now. They got 3 towers.
Yeah.
Have a restaurant on the top, view the falls from the top of the towers. 5-star hotels, 5-star restaurants, tulip gardens, rose gardens. Still have souvenir stores. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
They have enough tourists where they still could support souvenir stores up on Clifton Hill. Really nice. Really nice. Look at the difference in the government.
Yeah.
What an absolute shame. And the American side has the actual falls resource as the Canadian.
Yeah.
And look how the Canadian utilized it.
Yeah.
Well, the Americans,
Then they overlooked it.
they overlooked it.
Yeah.
One of the biggest tourist attractions in the United States, and they overlooked it for a convention center. Yeah. Also, one time, Niagara Falls was considered a honeymoon capital of the world.
Oh, yeah.
If you got married, you went to Niagara
Niagara
Falls.
Falls, yeah.
Now you think anyone would do that?
Yeah, no.
Would you ever think about in your wildest dreams to move back to Niagara Falls?
No. I'll never go back there now. No, it's a mess.
Minutes?
Minute 30.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
You would never consider that, right?
Yeah.
Wow. But let's face it, you were there at the best times.
Yeah.
Movie stars like Franchitones had beautiful houses, beautiful mansions on the water. You worked for all these guys.
We had a movie star in the city.
Yeah.
Well, only movie star we had.
Yeah, well, he's a big
Franchitone.
one. If someone would Google Franchitone, T-O-N-E, those in every movie.
What was the other one that we were talking?
Who was he married to? Betty Garble or something?
Yeah.
Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford.
And who was the other one that you said was from Niagara Falls?
Oh, the guy in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you were there at the best of times.
Yeah.
The best of times. If you wanted to make an ice skating ring as a boy, how'd you do it?
Just open fire hydrant.
See that? How nice. Simple. And then the next day you're skating, right?
Yeah.
Minutes.
30 seconds.
And you had that beautiful laundromat, and the people really respected it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us how they cared for it.
Well, they were the poor. You got to put a laundromat in where they don't have a wash machine, and those are the poorest people. But they're the most considerate and knowledgeable you can know.
Most considerate, I like that. And they took care of your stuff.
Yeah.
How do you think it would be if you put a laundromat in Niagara Falls now?
Well, they